Hey everyone, it's Chris here at Fernglade Farm. Hope you're all well and enjoying the spring or the autumn, wherever this video may find you in the world. And you can see we're walking through the orchard at the moment, just passing a kiwi fruit to the left and a loquat. And right in front of us is Sir Scruffy, and he's joined by his stupid mate, Scritchy the boss dog. And she is leading the way towards the chicken project. And you can see right in front of the chicken enclosure opening, there is a vestibule, and that's to stop the dogs from confronting the chickens. It's all steel, and all that's actually recycled or downgrade steel. You can see the chickens are happily enclosed in that behind the galvanized wire mesh, and everything is enclosed in concrete in the ground, so the rodents can't dig in there. You can see I'm actually capturing water from the roof of the enclosure too, and that's piped into the top of the 2100 litre water tank. That's about 500 and a bit gallons, and that comes out of there via a 3/4 inch pipe, which then travels under the ground just using gravity. It doesn't have to be terribly great pressure, into the water holder that's inside the chicken enclosure. So you can see the other side is open, and the chickens are actually really quite happy. They spend most of their day now out in their chicken enclosure, and we're now going to enter the Chooktopia project. So it's an easy entrance in there, and you can see Scritchy the boss dog is on the outside. That's my bucket of greens I'm going to take in there, and another latch opens. It's not quite so easy one-handed because I've got the camera in the other hand. And closing the door, that's actually quite a good security door. I picked it up $25 down at the tip. It's worth about $550 brand new. It's crazy. So I chuck the greens in to the chickens, and they just rummage through them. They're having a ball. There's quite a lot of heritage chickens in there, and they really enjoy that. They're going crazy for it. They love their greens, and they love getting out of the orchard and scratching around in that too. So we're going over to have a look at the water, and you can see the tap, which is just linked up to that 3/4 inch pipe in that tank, just gravity feed, and you can see how much pressure comes out of that. It's quite a lot of pressure. It certainly cleans the water trough quite easily. Any excess water drains into that concrete pit, which then drains out of a 90mm pipe, which is just under 4 inches, onto a walnut tree, and Scritchy's looking bemused. She'd like to be in here. Also keep a rake in there, and the rake's good for moving around some of the dry material. There are a couple of silkies in there, and that's their feeder, and basically you pour stuff into the feeder at the top, and it oozes out. You can see these are the nesting boxes. The silkies are really homebodies. They don't like getting out and about. They just like hanging around and doing their own thing. That's Fluffy Head. She's an aggressive chook. You watch her, she's going at my hand, but I'm just lifting her up, grabbing a couple extra eggs out of there, putting them into that collection. So there's about 6 eggs just for today, which is pretty good. This plastic heavy duty bin actually includes oyster grit, and I like keeping the bins in there, and so I can use them as I need. There's about 25 kilos, which is about 50 pounds of oyster grit in there, which is enough for a couple of years, but it's much cheaper buying in bulk. And you can see there's a steel reinforced perch that the cool kids sleep on at night, and they can jump on top of the oyster grit bin, onto the top of the thing, the nesting boxes, and then onto the perch. The feeder hangs from the roof, and in this bin, which is also some of the chickens sleep on, there's 15 chickens in there, so they're all over the shop. I keep a little cup in there with grains, and you can throw that out to them. They don't look terribly interested in the grains because they've got greens. They much prefer greens, but grains keep them alive quite well too, and they're pretty happy with them. Actually, the silkies prefer the grains to greens. You can see they're happily out there just scratching around, doing their old thing. You can see how strong that wire is. It's very strong, and it's not possible for animals to get in here anymore. Some of the doors are steel lined. That's galvanized steel. That's to stop so I can close the chickens into their house if a bushfire comes along, and they'll be okay. You can see this is the front door again. That's perforated steel sheet. It's very strong stuff. Strong enough to keep Sir Scruffy out. He's looking bemused by the whole thing. The steel actually goes into the ground in front of that door. That's pavers. They're also concreted into the ground. The steel itself is concreted into the ground, and the chickens actually live in a deep litter mulch, and there's about a foot of just organic matter in there. It smells very neutral. A lot of chicken enclosures smell very chooky, and you just go in there and you go, that doesn't smell right. Well, if it doesn't smell right, it's probably not good for the chickens too, because chickens actually put out a lot of ammonia in their manure, and you don't really want that. So looking out again, you can see the orchard through the chicken enclosure, and there's plenty of air getting in there, which is really good for the chickens. They're very, very happy, regardless of the conditions, whether it's raining or it's sunny or whatever. The chickens are quite warm and tasty and out of the wind. You can see how solidly that enclosure is constructed. Anyway, thanks for watching.